Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. In today's story, we'll talk about how to speak with confidence. Speaking with confidence is not something that is reserved for a few lucky people. It is not about being born with a special talent or having a powerful voice that naturally makes people listen. Confidence in speaking is something that is built step by step. It comes from practice, from self-understanding, and from learning how to connect with others in a natural way. In reality, every confident speaker you see today was once unsure, nervous, and maybe even afraid to open their mouth in front of others. The only difference is that they learned how to grow past that fear, and you can too. Imagine walking into a room full of people. Some are talking loudly, some are laughing, and some are quietly observing. You feel your heart beating faster as you know you need to speak soon. Your palms may sweat, your voice may shake, and your mind may suddenly go blank. This is a very common experience. It is not a sign of weakness, but a sign that your body cares about the situation. You want to make a good impression, and your brain is treating this as something very important. The key to confidence is not to remove this feeling completely, but to learn how to manage it and use it in your favor. When we think about confident speakers, we often picture someone standing on a stage, speaking clearly and strongly, holding the attention of hundreds of people. But confidence is not only about giving speeches. It is about being able to express yourself in everyday life, in classrooms, in workplaces, in social gatherings, or even in casual conversations. Confidence in speaking means you trust yourself to deliver your message without hiding, without rushing, and without doubting your worth. The truth is, confidence is more about mindset than about the words you say. You may know the right words, but if you doubt yourself, the words will not come out with strength. On the other hand, even if your words are simple, when you believe in them, they sound powerful. Confidence is like a light inside you. When you switch it on, people feel it. They may not always notice your exact words, but they feel your presence, your energy, and your trust in yourself. The first step to confidence is accepting that nervousness is normal. Many young people think, "I feel nervous, so I must not be confident." That is not true. Even professional speakers, actors, or leaders feel nervous before speaking. The difference is that they do not let nervousness control them. They breathe, they focus, and they use that energy to make their words stronger. Instead of fighting the feeling, they accept it and move forward. So if you feel nervous, you are not broken. You are simply human. Speaking with confidence also comes from preparation. Confidence does not grow in an empty space. If you know what you want to say, if you have thought about your ideas, and if you understand your topic, then your confidence rises naturally. Imagine two students asked to speak about a subject. One has read about it, thought about it, and maybe even practiced once. The other has done nothing. Who will sound more confident? Of course, the prepared one. So, preparation is not a sign of weakness. It is a secret key to confidence. But confidence is not only about knowledge. It is also about your body and your presence. When you stand tall, keep your head up, and breathe deeply, your voice automatically becomes stronger. If you shrink your body, avoid eye contact, and speak too fast, people will feel your fear. The way you carry yourself tells people how much you believe in your own words. Think of your body as the vehicle of your message. If the vehicle is strong and steady, your words will travel safely. Another truth about confidence is that it grows only with practice. You cannot simply read about it, think about it, and expect to become confident overnight. It is like learning to swim. You can read 100 books about swimming, but until you enter the water, you will not feel comfortable. Similarly, Speaking with confidence requires you to practice speaking. Start small. Speak in front of a mirror. Record your voice and listen to it. Talk with a friend and share your thoughts. Slowly, you will see that the fear reduces and your comfort grows. Confidence is built brick by brick each time you speak. One of the biggest enemies of confidence is the fear of judgment. Many young people think, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me? What if they think I am stupid? These thoughts create walls in your mind. But here is the reality. Most people are not paying as much attention to your mistakes as you think. People are busy with their own lives, their own thoughts. If you forget a word or stumble for a moment, it is not the end of the world. In fact, sometimes mistakes make you look more real and relatable. Confidence is not about being perfect. It is about continuing, even when things are not perfect. Confidence also grows when you focus on your message instead of yourself. When you keep asking, how do I look? How do I sound? Do they like me? You lose energy in self-doubt. But when you shift your focus to, what do I want to share? How can I help them understand? You stop worrying about yourself and start connecting with others. Confident speakers are not always the loudest people in the room. They are the ones who make others feel understood. Another reality is that your environment shapes your confidence. If you are always around people who shut you down, who laugh at your mistakes, or who never give you space to speak, your confidence may suffer. But if you surround yourself with supportive people who listen, encourage, and give you chances, your confidence grows faster. This does not mean you need to wait for a perfect environment. Sometimes you need to create it. Find a group, a class, or even online communities where you can practice speaking without fear. The more safe spaces you find, the stronger you will become for the bigger, tougher spaces. Let's also talk about language. Many young people, especially those learning English as a second language, think they cannot be confident speakers until they speak like a native. This is not true. Confidence does not come from perfect grammar or a fancy accent. It comes from clarity and sincerity. If your words are simple but clear, and if your tone shows that you believe in what you say, people will respect you. In fact, many powerful speakers in the world speak with accents or make grammatical mistakes, yet their confidence makes people listen. So, never think that your language level is a block to confidence. Instead, think of it as a growing skill that improves with practice. Confidence is also linked to honesty. When you try to fake knowledge, when you speak about something you do not understand, your voice and body will betray you. But when you speak about what you truly know, even if it is small, your voice becomes steady. Honesty builds trust, and trust creates confidence. If you do not know something, it is okay to say, I am not sure about that. People respect honesty more than fake perfection. Now, here is something important. Confidence is not about comparing yourself with others. Many young people lose confidence because they keep looking at those who seem better. They say, he speaks so fluently, I will never reach that level. But comparison is a thief of confidence. Everyone has their own journey. The person you admire today was once where you are now. Instead of comparing, use them as inspiration. Confidence is not about being the best in the room. It is about being able to express yourself without fear. Let's not forget that confidence is also about patience. You cannot force yourself to become a confident speaker in 1 week. It takes time. Just like building muscle in the gym, speaking confidence grows with repeated effort. If you practice for 1 month, you will see change. If you practice for 6 months, you will see bigger change. If you keep going for a year or two, you may not even recognize yourself. The key is to stay consistent, even when it feels slow. Another truth. Confidence is also about listening. You may think speaking confidence is only about talking, but actually, good speakers are also good listeners. When you listen to others, you understand how they express themselves, what works, and how people respond. You also build stronger connections, and when you finally speak, people pay more attention because they feel respected. Confidence is not shouting louder than everyone else. It is knowing when to listen and when to speak. Let's talk about voice. Many young people think their voice is too soft, too thin, or too weak. But most of the time, the issue is not the voice itself, but how it is used. Your voice becomes confident when you breathe properly, when you slow down, and when you project your words instead of hiding them. Speaking too fast makes you sound nervous. Speaking too softly makes people strain to hear you. But when you find a natural rhythm, your voice carries confidence. You don't need to force it. You just need to let it flow steadily. Eye contact is another tool of confidence. When you avoid looking at people, it sends a message that you are unsure. But when you look at people's eyes, even for a few seconds, it creates a connection. You do not need to stare, but gentle, regular eye contact shows you trust yourself and respect the listener. This small habit can change how people see your confidence. Confidence also grows when you allow silence. Many young speakers are afraid of pauses. They think silence means they are failing. But actually, silence is powerful. A short pause allows your listeners to absorb your words, and it gives you a moment to breathe. Confident speakers are not afraid of silence because they know it gives strength to their message. There is also the matter of self-talk. The way you speak to yourself before speaking influences your confidence. If you keep saying, "I can't do this, I will fail, people will laugh," your brain will believe it. But if you tell yourself, "I am ready, I have something valuable to share, I will do my best," your brain will also believe that. The voice inside you is powerful. Train it to be your friend, not your enemy. Finally, confidence is about experience. The more you speak, the more situations you face, the more mistakes you make, the stronger you become. Every time you speak, you gain a little more courage. It is like collecting coins of confidence. At first, you may only have a few, but over time, you will have so many that you will not fear speaking anymore. One day, you will look back and realize that the nervous, shy version of you has transformed into someone others admire for their confidence. So, speaking with confidence is not magic. It is not luck. It is reality. It is built from small steps, accepting nervousness, preparing your thoughts, practicing regularly, focusing on your message, believing in yourself, and slowly facing bigger challenges. It is about honesty, patience, and connection with others. It is about changing your self-talk, using your body language, and remembering that you are not alone in this journey. Every confident speaker was once a learner, just like you. When you understand this, confidence no longer feels like a distant dream. It becomes something real, something possible, something you can grow into day by day. You do not need to wait for the perfect moment. You do not need to wait until you feel zero fear. You simply need to start speaking, even with fear, even with mistakes. Because every word you speak with courage is a brick in the wall of your confidence. And one day, without even noticing, you will realize that the wall is strong, tall, and unshakable. That is how to speak with confidence. It is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is not about impressing others. It is about expressing yourself. And the more you do it, the more you will see that confidence is not a gift. It is a skill you can master with time, patience, and practice.